Wow, what a historic day. The markets are dumping. Would you believe it? The stocks are crashing, right? They're crashing, but cryptos, especially Bitcoin, are holding steady. This is amazing. What kind of a day are we having? You would not believe this. Look at this. The NASDAQ, the SP 500 are down like, this is like crashing, bear market territory. A lot of these indexes are down 20%. Russell 2000, the small stocks are down 20% or so. So even the Chinese stocks taking a big hit today, obviously because of all the tariff action. But look at this. Look at this. Bitcoin is green. Ethereum is almost green. And all these coins, XRP, Aave, Algo, right? Badger, BNB, they're all green. What is going on here? Why is Bitcoin showing all these amazing, what they call relative strength? I'll take you guys through the charts. I'll tell you why that is happening on Bitcoin. And first of all, the even bigger reason is why the market is just dumping in stocks to begin with. Now, and obviously, this is a big deal if stocks dump this much, because if stocks go into a bear market, then I don't think Bitcoin or crypto survives. I mean, for guys who have been watching my videos for the last 2 months, I've shown these charts again and again to show why that is, a very bad thing. If stocks go into a bear market, then almost Bitcoin never, not in one instance, makes it out alive. Bitcoin goes down. Maybe this time's different. I don't want to trigger people. Okay, so we're gonna look at the where we think the stock market will bottom. I don't think it's that far away, but could have a panic Black Monday opening. But first, before we get to all of that, let's quickly answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses a crypto exchange that is non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means even the exchange can't see who you are. That means the IRS can't see you, tax office can't see you, FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. And they're doing a great promotion with Pablo right now. So chance to win a BMW bike, tour to Dubai, Rolex watches, just by joining and trading. But for a limited time only, ends on 6th of April, right? This is the Pablo deal with Bitunix only. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're on some other platform, such as this one, watching my videos, then just click on my profile page, and there is the Stan link. All my deals are inside the Stan link, and it's the first one that pops up with Bitunix right there. So just keep in mind, folks, only on this link with Pablo. Okay, let's get back to the markets. First of all, this is an amazing big drop. Like, it went right past my target. So for a long time, I've been telling folks I'm expecting an A, B, C type of move, right? ABC type of move. And my target was at 524, right? And I thought, okay, it went straight past that. And then I thought 509 would be a support area. I'll show you why. You can see here, right? This channel, this big channel, basically is support at 509, right? And we've closed below that as well. And by the way, folks, why am I talking about the stock market? I don't think, for folks who have watched my videos before, you should know that the stock market basically dictates where crypto and Bitcoin is going to go, right? Stock market bottoms first in September 2022, and Bitcoin bottoms in October, like couple of weeks later. Stock market tops and goes down, right, from this December, January period, and Bitcoin goes down, right? So far, SPY is only down like 18%, 19%, but Bitcoin's already down something like 30% when it hit 76K. I know it's up at 82, 83K now, but Bitcoin is obviously a lot more volatile than the stock market, and you can see that the stock market, US stock market, dictates where Bitcoin's going to go. So it's important for us to understand where the stock market is going to bottom. So I'll just show you guys the longer term chart so you can see why this red line, this red trend line here is so important. This carries us all the way from the COVID lows to today, and we're almost about to tag that trend line. Have a look. So if this trend line is broken, then it would be obviously be a massive bearish event, because even for people who don't follow charts, you can basically see that we've basically had this one just large supporting trend line that supported the entire stock market throughout this entire bull run, right? Even with the fall in 2022, the bear market, small bear market in 2022, now we're coming close here, and you would think we would get one big bounce if we don't make it blow off top, but at least one big bounce of this this red rising channel, the supporting trend line here. It's 485 on the Spider ETF or the SP 500 ETF. Let's have a look at, for example, the Nasdaq. For the Nasdaq, it also blew past my target. I was again calling for ABC pattern. A leg down, B, C. I thought it would get stopped here. Why are all these charts basically breaking, going even further than my expectations? Like, it's down lower than the 2021 bull run now. It's basically gone lower than 2021. You think it would stop? The reason why I called the 16.2, 16.3K area was because this was the old high of coming out of the COVID bounce, right? The old high when they printed like $4 trillion. And now we've broken that as well. What is causing this? People say, oh, it's because of the Trump tariffs. Well, it's a lot more than that. Basically, Trump hit everybody with tariffs. That means a lot of large US companies like Magnificent Seven stocks are screwed, because like you take Apple, for example, all their phones are produced in like China, 85%, 15% of it are produced in India. So both got hit with a lot of tariffs. So how are you going to import all more foreign-made phones into the United States? That's obviously what made these Magnificent Seven stocks, the US stock market, Nasdaq, drop yesterday. But today, just like 8 hours ago, China announced they're going to hit back with tariffs, and they hit an equal amount, 34% back to the United States. And now, look, so then it makes it even more difficult, because now think about all the Magnificent Seven stocks like Tesla, Microsoft, Google, all these companies, when they export to China, to Europe, right? If everybody, major markets like China, Europe, Japan, retaliates with 10, 20, 30, 40% tariffs, then what happens is, then, I mean, imagine trying to sell a Tesla car in Europe, or trying to sell an iPhone, into Europe, if it's counted as an American product, or trying to sell Google services or Microsoft Windows software, or even get PlayStation, Microsoft PlayStation into Europe or into China, if they count that as an American product. So basically, right now the market is panicking. But however, would you agree that if the stock market bottoms and bounces, then we would think that the Bitcoin could bounce as well? It would certainly be a very positive event for Bitcoin and crypto if stock markets were to bounce. So where would the stock market bottom? Well, we just saw that that the SP 500 or Spider ETF, SPY, would bottom probably, or at least has massive support around this 485 area. Now this is a SPY Nasdaq chart, and I think this low 1500s, so we're very close to it, is probably going to be the bottom support level for the Nasdaq. And QQQ, we can have a look at the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq 100 ETF, and once again, it is also very close to the previous to the previous top, because this was the COVID crash, and then here was the big top before it went into a small bear market. So bouncing off this top makes sense to me. That will be around this 400 to 404 area. So we're not that far away. But what I'm afraid of is that because this US stock market closes on a massive panic, like, crash day like this, then on Monday it could open to a massive crash. So and what makes it worse is that usually when you have days like this, guys like Jerome Powell would come out and say, "Oh, look, we will support the U.S. markets. Everything's fine. U.S. economy is strong. They're ready to QE or end QT, do some quantitative easing, which is printing of U.S. dollars, and they would do anything to save the market." Whereas right now, like Trump just tweeted and said, "Stop playing politics," right? Because the bankers don't like Trump. The Federal Reserve don't like Trump, and what they're doing is Jerome Powell just came out, like literally about 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, and said, "Oh no, we're not thinking of cutting rates anymore quicker than what we planned before. We're only going to do 2 rate cuts, and we still have time." And that's freaked out the markets. That's absolutely freaked out the markets. So yeah, unfortunately, we're stuck in a game of chicken right now. But I'll show you guys another chart which tells us where the bottom could be. So have a look at this. This is the VIX, and it's basically the volatility index of the SP 500 calculated from the options market on SP 500. And this is when it hits about 48 to 49.50 area. And we have a look at so many times throughout history. I mean, this chart started since 1990. So that's 35 years of history. How many times panics, when the market panics and spikes up, how many times the panics stop at 50 or below? So we have ones, 2, 3, if you want to count these ones, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This would be 11 if we get there. We had at least 10 times. And look at the other times when it stopped right at this level, which is 43-ish. We're at 45 right now, right? and basically, there was only 3 times in the last 30 years, 35 years, where the market panic index went above that. And there was once in 2008, 2009, obviously GFC crash. Once in 2020 March, that was obviously the COVID crash, and once in August last year, August the 5th, and that was obviously the US dollar, Japanese yen tanking due to making the Japanese yen carry trade go into reverse. So that crashed the markets. I mean, if you guys have been watching my videos, you know what that was all about. So judging by this index, we're probably not that far away. I would bet, 80% chance we get stopped around this 49.50-ish level around here, and markets reverse. So we're probably 1 day away from that. And as I've shown you guys on the charts, if we look at the SPY, if we look at NASDAQ, we are probably 1 day's drop away from that. But Monday will be scary because it'll be a gap down open, because a lot of retails are coming with a lot of sell orders, and this long-term trend line will get tested, and it'll basically be a massive day, and we'll hope it holds. And I do think personally, chances are it will hold, and that's when we get our big bounce. And just quickly, why was Bitcoin doing its bounce today? So we just saw some. This is Bitcoin taker volume. That means they're just taking the offer price. They're just buying, not waiting with buy order bids and waiting for price to dip down. So they were being aggressive. Usually it's, and there was a lot of buying right around midday today, US time, and more buying late in the evening as well. I think this is a Greenwich Mean Time. So overall, that's why Bitcoin's showing a lot of relative strength today. But I don't want folks to get carried away, because it could easily be someone like Michael Saylor doing the buying today. And we know that he's not a very good trader, because he tends to buy the highs. When he stops buying, the price of Bitcoin immediately then goes down in the days following. So just have to watch that situation closely. But it looks like if I'll keep you guys updated, but I think we're probably getting a top, a bottom, a panic V-shaped bottom sometime in early next week. Okay, to all the Aussies out there, Pablo uses SwiftX Exchange. My link is in the description below. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you guys next episode. Bye bye.